This is the Swarm and Shoot Football Show with me, Manny Matsakis, the head football coach at Defiance College, where we feature Defiance College football and everything that influences our program. This show is brought to you by our friends at Big B Coffee, right across the street here on North Clinton Street. And it's literally right across from our offices. They do a fantastic job, and they support our program and this particular podcast. Get the finest coffee beverages in Defiance, as well as great pastries, breakfast sandwiches to start your day off and get a pick-me-up in the afternoon. Today's episode is number 28. I'm going to introduce you to our new linebackers coach, Matt Wehrhahn. And he hails from the Garden State, New Jersey. Oh, yeah. How's it going, Matt?
I'm good. How you doing, Coach?
Well, welcome to the show, your first time on the Swarm and Shoot show. And, it's interesting for people out there. And, we have our fans that watch this and listen to it. And, there's coaches all over the country that are sort of into what we're doing. I'm sure you'll share this once we get it out there.
Oh, yeah,
and,
for sure.
It was intriguing for me going out and finding somebody to be the next linebacker coach. And, I think I was very fortunate. I had used some of my contacts on the East Coast. We were looking around because the thing that a lot of people in this industry don't quite get is it's primarily how you impress the people you work with on either side of the ball that can dictate your opportunity to land a full-time coaching job.
Right.
And I called a bunch of different people, but I called a friend of mine, Dan Connor, who's the defensive coordinator at Widener University, where I had coached previously. And, Dan, to me, as a linebacker, is one of the greatest linebackers ever in many ways, and people out there may not realize, but Dan, he played for the Panthers, he played for the Giants, he's the all-time leading tackler at Penn State, which is linebacker U. Yeah. So when I figured, hey, I'll call Dan, he's going to know a little bit, and I trust what he would say and who he would ask, because you rarely get these opportunities if you don't know somebody, and you and I had never met before.
Right.
So he had recommended a couple people, went down the hall, and the offensive line coach, Nate Hinkle, who I don't even know, but because basically Matt, you worked with him at Kings.
Right.
Right. He had a glaring recommendation. Dan said, hey, you need to look at this guy just based on the way Nate responded when I asked for a really good linebacker coach. So, one thing leads to another. Nate Hinkle, who, hey, thanks. I have not met you. I'm sure we will meet at some point. But because of that, we brought you in, went through the process, the interview process, and so forth.
Yeah.
But,
I'm excited to be here. So.
Well, tell us, you have a circuitous path to getting into coaching. It's not the typical coaching path. Now, mind you, I have been around some guys that have taken the most bizarre paths to coaching. I think maybe the most bizarre ever was when I worked at Texas Tech with Mike Leach. Here's a guy, that didn't play college football, that, he went to law school at Pepperdine, graduated first, second in his class at Pepperdine, was walking in California and saw a junior college practice and said, I don't want to be a lawyer, I want to be a football coach. Yeah. And he basically volunteered. And one thing started leading to another. He didn't get paid for forever. Now he's a head coach at Washington State. But here's an attorney that decided he wanted to be a college football coach, and he's bright, and he worked at it, and he took care of business. But give us your journey from how you got started. From at the college, from when you entered college, and basically what got you here.
Okay. Well. I played my ball at East Stroudsburg University over in Pennsylvania. I left there to pursue a career in the music business. I went down to a school in Florida, got a degree there, ended up getting a job after 2 years in Times Square up in New York. So I got to move back to Jersey, was living with my parents, commuting in and out of the city for about a year or two. Ended up not wanting to be in the city and not wanting to be in the music business. I was not impressed with the people, I guess. And, was really just not wanting to make that my life. Mm-hmm. So I ended up leaving that job, and I ended up getting a job at my local high school where I graduated from.
And where's this?
West Morris Central, over in Morris County, New Jersey.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I worked there for about 3 years, and when I started working there, my head coach came back to me and just said, hey, we got to get you on staff. So I ended up coaching, loved it, coached basketball, lacrosse, baseball while I was there too, and really found out that I didn't want to teach, I didn't want to be in the music business, I wanted to coach. So after that, I tried to figure out a way to get into the college ranks because I wanted to make it my lifestyle, and ended up meeting some guys at King's College up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
How'd you meet these guys?
Through a couple connections. My head coach at West Morris, he knew a guy that used to work there.
This sounds straight New Jersey. He knew a guy.
Yeah, he knew a guy.
Okay.
No, the guy that used to recruit for Kings at West Morris was Sammy Kagas, who's the line coach at Lycoming now.
Okay.
And he referred him to Jeff Nahr over at Kings. They were looking for a guy. I ended up talking to them down at the convention in 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Went down by myself, and if you, going by yourself to the convention is a little intimidating, to say the least. And then met with them, got the job when I got back, and since then I went to Kings for about a year and a half. I was just at Millsaps College down in Mississippi.
Okay, let's rewind a second.
Okay.
So you go to Kings, right?
Yeah.
How much you get paid to go to Kings? And this is interesting. I just think people don't realize what the dues that you have to pay.
It was restricted earnings. I think it was about $9,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was working three jobs in the summer.
Yeah.
Bartending, landscaping. I had 2 bartending gigs. That's what kept me going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had some spending money from that, but not too much. And then Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania is a good place to live if you're making $9,000 a year. It's fairly cheap. It's good food for the price, too. So I was living okay.
Great.
But after that, 2 weeks before this past season, I got a job down at Millsaps College in Mississippi. That's where I was the past 6 months. Loved it down there. A little bit of a culture shock. Being a Jersey boy moving down to Mississippi, it was definitely different. But loved my time down there. Met some really great guys. Coaching staff was awesome. And then Nate ended up calling me in late November, early December, asking me if I was interested. I said absolutely. And
what did he say? I mean, what was, because he didn't know me, and I mean,
right.
what was the take on this?
He basically just he knew about the opportunity and what was going on here, and obviously it was the financial side of it was definitely a plus too, and so absolutely I was interested. And then once I talked to you on the phone after that first interview, it was kind of a no-brainer. I mean, you sold me on it on the first interview call. So. Oh,
okay. How about that?
Yeah.
Sometimes the head coach, I spend more time recruiting coaches than players. So, but because it's important, because that's what you guys do ultimately. Yes. Is you got to get great players in here. And so when all this transpired and you came up here, there was a perception out there because you'd never been to Northwest Ohio,
right?
And Defiance College, you look at it and you say, oh well, shoot, there, it's what could be going on. What the perception is, hey, they haven't won very much,
right?
And what did you notice when you came on your interview, and as opposed to what you thought it might be like?
Well, first thing I noticed is how much everybody's behind the football program as far as the school and the direction. Everybody's aligned and they're trying to do the same thing and make this school better, grow the school. That was number one. I mean, the perception coming. I really didn't know what to think. I know that over the last few years I've seen on the Scoop and things like people were looking, Defiance was looking for people consistently. And I know the reputation from past years was not all that great for the program. But when I showed up, I mean, again, you guys showed me around and showed me what you got going on, all the projects and everything, and it's trending in the right way. And I really thought this would be a cool thing to be a part of, and hopefully I can help you guys.
Oh, you will. Yeah, and, don't worry. We'll get you on that.
Yeah, get going.
Yeah, no, it's great. And so you're here now, and you've officially moved into Defiance. You found a place.
Yep.
And
3 days now.
Yeah. Wow.
Day 3.
How about that? And you're on the road recruiting. We're working on that. You'll have you'll have a regional, a local area around here, and then we're definitely going to send you to the East Coast because there are so many fantastic football players in New Jersey,
talent,
New York City, New Jersey, Long Island. Those are some areas that I just know that there's lots of talent, and what we offer at Defiance College is something that can be a tremendous fit for a lot of those East Coast guys.
Absolutely. I'm excited to go back too because I was recruiting them at Kings, that area.
Yeah.
And I still have some connections there, and I'm ready to go back to the Garden State.
Yeah, there you go. Coaching linebackers, what is it you look for in a linebacker? Now, I realize you're going to have to develop them and so forth, but when you're looking for a linebacker that has the potential to develop at the highest level for you, what are the characteristics you're looking for?
Personality-wise, they just have to be coachable. I mean, I like intense players. I like guys that are physical, downhill. They like contact. If they're good athletes, I can always coach them from there. Sometimes I always like to look at it like a scale. There's athleticism and intelligence as far as what you're doing, and the more athleticism you have, the less intelligence you might necessarily need to be good, and vice versa. And the higher each scale is, the better that player normally is.
Yeah.
But as far as work ethic and stuff, I mean, if they show up every day and they're ready to go, I can work with that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no question. And I think that there's a lot to that position because it is the heart of the defense. I mean,
for sure.
You got to deal with the front and the coverage combinations, and the great ones can do just what you said. And you can see that when you think of great NFL linebackers that you say, wow, if I could have a guy with these characteristics where I am, like who are the top couple that you know?
Luke Kuechly, off the top of my head. I mean, he's like number one. He's intelligent, athletic. He's physical. He's all get out, and that's probably the number one guy. I mean, classic Ray Lewis type, intensity. And,
he wasn't bad.
And he was okay.
He was okay.
I mean, as far as other guys today, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I do like Fred Warner on the 49ers.
Okay.
Young guy, BYU, and I'm a 49er fan, so.
Okay, 49er fan. Wow.
I'm familiar with him, so I like the way that he plays, and he's going to be something special in a few years, so.
Awesome. 49ers, that the owners are from Ohio, Youngstown.
I did know that.
Yeah. The DeBartolo family.
It's not something off the top of my head, but I did know that.
There you go. Yep, Ohio. You're learning.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
All roads lead to Defiance.
Well, at least to Ohio. And we're working on that part. What was it like, when we went through the process of interviewing you and so forth, you had a chance to talk to Javon Johnson, our defensive coordinator. And, he's someone that I am very, just very close to and, having seen him grow up in this profession right now. And I think he's fantastic. But what was your take, because out of the blue I said, hey, I want you to talk to our DC. How'd that go?
He seemed like he knew what he was doing, and the way he was talking about running the defense and what he expects us to do going forward just aligned with my way of thinking. It was very interesting because, again, he's been coaching this is going to be his second season. He's already a coordinator.
Yeah.
For him to move up that quickly with a coach with your resume, I mean, he's got to be fairly good at what he does. And
he is. He's fantastic. And what I think for him and what's fun for you is to work with a guy because you'd think, oh, well, this guy is just, he's going into his second year of coaching. Right. But he played at the highest
12,
levels.
13 years. Yeah.
He was in the pros, and he wasn't just your typical pro that picked up a paycheck. He was a guy that led players on the field like you would want a coach to lead them.
Right.
So I think that's what's made him who he is today, and it's exciting for you all to work together. I think it'll be great. If as you get out in town, you're going to meet a lot of people, and I think you'll enjoy Defiance, Northwest Ohio. I think you'll realize how big a deal football is in Ohio. Period.
Yeah.
And I just, I want to thank you for coming here, and I'm excited to
thank you for the job. Yeah, I'm excited to get going. So
it's going to be a good time for us. And I just, as we get rolling and spring ball hits here, and you guys get this defense, where it needs to be in the spring.
We'll get them there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's why we're here, and it's exciting, and our coaches are fired up about this, and they're all excited to have you on board, and maybe you can, add a little something else to this experience.
A little fire to the mix.
Yeah, it'll be great. But Matt, thanks once again, and I want to thank everybody for joining us on the Swarm and Shoot Football Show. And as always, we're out every Thursday, and you'll get it first thing, and you can watch this on video and as well on the YouTube channel and swarmandshoot.com as well. But thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on the Swarm and Shoot Football Show. If you're listening to this podcast, make sure to subscribe in iTunes. Give us a rating and comment on the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the bell so you can get notifications when we release the next show. Feel free to comment below on this specific show. If you'd like to get all kinds of updates, go to our website at swarmandshoot.com, where you will be up to date on everything in our program. You will get this podcast from an audio version as well as the YouTube version, all on our website. You'll see feature articles on our current players and alumni, along with updates of everything that we can share with you that's going on in our program. Take a minute, subscribe with your email to receive regular alerts every time we update the website.